Hey, our first step, the first module in how to buy a home is all about picking out a good realtor. Now you might say to me, what do you mean, Terry? Realtor? Do I have to have one? Do I have to use one? You know, and don't I need to find out about houses and loans first? The answer is no. Because a good realtor is like a good lawyer or a good parent or a good confidant. A good realtor is going to protect you when you go through the home buying experience. Yeah, what is a good realtor? A good realtor is someone who's going to treat you like you're part of their own family. And here's what I mean by that. You know, you see your brother or your sister messing up, or maybe even your parents. And you sit them down, you have a heart-to-heart, and you tell them what you think. And then, like family, you shut up and you get out of the way. That's right. That's what a good realtor does. Because you know what? If they were doing this for their own family, they wouldn't let you step in the mud. Or if they did, or if you're going to, they'd tell you before you did. So we got to pick out a good realtor. When you're buying a house, you need a buyer's agent. Yeah, a buyer's agent. A buyer's agent is someone who only works for you. They don't work for the seller. They don't work for anybody else in the real estate transaction but you. And how do you pick out a buyer's agent? Well, any agent can be a buyer's agent except the one who's selling the home. And you never want to work with the one who's selling the home. You see, they're called the seller's agent or the listing agent. Long before you came along, they were hired by the seller to get the most money, the best terms, the shortest closing that benefit the seller. Well, you come along, you know, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'll help you, I'll represent you. Well, wait a minute. Why do most lawyers, or why can't most lawyers represent both parties in a divorce? Because there's odds. They're at odds. You need your own agent. You need a buyer's agent. So, how do you pick a buyer's agent? You interview them. You ask them, what are they going to do for you? How much are they going to help you? What are they going to lead you through? For instance, do they help you pick the price? Do they help you get a loan? Do they help you pick a building inspector? Do they help you build a title company? Do they help you all the way through the transaction? If any of those answers are yes, then good. Here's what you do when you picked out a buyer's agent. You sign a contract with them, a buyer's agency agreement. I know. Wait a minute, Terry, I don't want to sign a contract with a realtor. Come on. What am I getting myself into? Well, not a whole lot, because if you write these three terms into your buyer's agency agreement, you'll be fine. There's a big blank spot in the buyer's agency agreement. It's written by the Association of Realtors in whichever state you're buying a home. It says simply that this person does not work for the seller. They only work for you, the buyer. Now you handwrite these three clauses into your buyer's agency agreement. Number one, there's no fees to you, the buyer. That's right. This buyer's agency agreement does not cost you a dime. You see, the agent gets paid by the seller out of the proceeds from the sale of the house. So the commission's already set. So the idea that a buyer's agent should want to charge you extra money to help you? Rule number one you write in, no fees to the buyer. Rule number two, the contract is only good for 30 or 90 days. Your buyer's agency agreement is only good for 30 to 90 days. Yeah, that's right. So you're not tied up for long. And you know what? The third part of the agreement is really the most beautiful part of it all. You write in, this contract can be canceled with 24 hours written notice. So what do you have now? You've got an agreement where you're the employer, the realtor's the employee, and you have the right to fire them if for any reason you feel uncomfortable with them, and you can do it with 24 hours written notice. Now you got to be fair. Is it your realtor's responsibility to find you the home? No. Did they find you your wife? Did your friend find you your girlfriend? Did your mother find you your education? Not at all. They just led you in the right direction. Your realtor's job is to make all of the inventory available to you so you can make good selections of which houses to look at. Your agent's job is to protect you. They are your police department in the real estate transaction. So let's summarize what we've learned today. Number one, when you buy a home, you need a buyer's agent. Plain and simple. You sign a buyer's agency agreement with your agent, and you insert these 3 clauses into the buyer's agency agreement. A, or number one, there's no fees to the buyer. 2, or B, that this contract is only good for 30 to 90 days. And 3, or C, this contract can be canceled with 24 hours written notice. You've got everything covered. And by the way, just for those of you who are wondering about the legality of it, anything that is handwritten into a contract supersedes anything that is typewritten into a contract. So even if in the body of the agency agreement, it says you owe them money, the handwritten rule supersedes that. So now we've learned how to pick an agent, and we've learned how to do a buyer's agency agreement. From here, we're ready to go get our financing. If you have any questions, you just email me at info@terryhall.net or call me 314-220-0524.